Oftentimes when people first hear about UGC, they think, okay, this is just another like type or form of influencer. And then they hear things like, no, you do not need a large following in order for brands to want to work with you, which is true, but then maybe they see like a content creator who is both a successful UGC creator and a successful influencer, and then they get confused because they're sharing all their successes with both, and it just all becomes a little bit confusing. So I figured today, why don't I just break it all down for you? Influencing versus UGC creator versus doing both. If you are like on the fence about UGC, if you're on the fence about influencing, or if you're just wondering what the difference is between the two, this video is really gonna help break all of that down for you. And before we do that, if you are someone who already is a content creator, or you want to become a content creator, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications, because I upload a new video every single Tuesday, always with the intention of helping you increase your income and potential as a content creator. So be sure to subscribe. Also, if you've been following me for a while, you know this is my new office at our new house. I'm so excited. There's still like tons of boxes behind here, behind the camera that you can't see. None of my desk is set up yet, but I'm super excited. Hopefully the like background behind me will just evolve every single week and you'll kind of see that process. But anyways, I'm just so excited to finally be in the new office. No distraction, no guest bed, just a dedicated office to really just give you some more video like this and stay more focused throughout the day. So let's get into today's topic. What I want to first do is kind of break down how brands work with influencers. As you probably already know, I mean, influencers have been around for a long time now. So you probably know that depending on like the amount of followers, aka the amount of influence you have on people, that's really what determines if a brand is going to work with an influencer. And typically it does come down to the number of followers a influencer does have, but they also have to take into consideration things like engagement rate. Like, do people who follow this influencer, do they care about what they're posting and sharing on social media every single day? Influencers can make a lot of money with a smaller following, but a more engaged audience and community that actually knows, likes, and trusts them. So brands have to take all of this into consideration before they hand over, you know, big bucks or, you know, large paychecks to influencers that they work with. It could also look like, you know, are you active on just TikTok? Are you active on just Instagram? Or maybe you have a large email list that companies want to do like a brand deal only with your email list. There's so many different things that brands take into account when deciding which influencers to work with. And typically the route or the journey that you have to go on in order to become an influencer, it can be like a long process, right? I mean, because at the end of the day, we're really talking about the time it takes to build a community, like your own community of people that really like you, really trust you, really want to interact with the type of content you're posting, sharing your stories, commenting on your posts, like tuning into your lives on TikTok, whatever it is. You're building up this like really engaged following and you're posting consistently. Maybe people are, you know, reading your emails every single day. To get to that point, it can take quite a while. I personally have several friends who are influencers and they're extremely successful. They make a ton of money being influencers, but it also took them a really long time to get to that point. Like, they had to post a lot. Like, some of them have even been doing this for over a decade now. So it's taken them a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of consistent effort to get to a point where brands actually pay them a lot of money. And I do want to point out that this is not always the case, right? Like, some people start their influencer journey and for some reason they just got like, they got it nailed, right? They know what they're doing. They know how to build a community. Maybe they've built communities for other people in the past and they're doing their own thing now. Like, some influencers really have a specific formula and they have the time throughout the day or weeks or months or years to post consistently. So that time frame could be shorter dependent upon the person, their skill sets, like what they're talking about. So keep that in mind. This is not like a generalized thing. There's so many different factors and things that go into each time frame for whoever the influencer is. But all of that to say, like, building up any type of audience where you're going to become an influencer and you're going to eventually get brand deals, that alone does take a lot of work and effort. And it will typically take several months, possibly years, until you start making good chunks of money as an influencer. And just as a recap, brands want to work with influencers who do have this type of strong community, right? So brands are going to rely on the influencers' following, their engagement rate, everything, basically their community that they've built up on social media. That is why a brand hires them. That's why a brand goes and they're like, okay, is this person, this influencer that we give $10,000 to for one single TikTok post, are they able to bring in more money than that for our business? This is always the goal with brands. They want to give influencers money for sponsored posts, all with the hopes of them gaining more money, a higher ROI for their business. They're really just hoping that from that one TikTok sponsored post, they're going to have the people who see it and who follow this influencer, they're gonna hope that those people really trust that influencer and really want to purchase the products or the services or whatever it is. They want to purchase that from the influencer with the influencer's recommendations because they trust them so much. Every single time that a brand pays an influencer, that's really always the goal, right? Like when a brand gives Kim Kardashian $1 million, like literally last I heard that is how much she charges for brand deals, for one post on social media. If a brand comes to her, they're like, yep, we want you to do one Instagram post about our product, here's $1 million. They're not just giving her $1 million so they get a little bit more website traffic, they get maybe some more followers on Instagram. They're doing that because they are basically trusting that the people, the millions of people that follow Kim Kardashian, trust her enough, or at least a small percentage of them trust her enough to go to the website, follow the link, whatever she has on there, and actually purchase the products. So that the brand doesn't just make their $1 million back, they make 2 times, 3 times, 5 times that amount of money, all from this one sponsored post. Influencers over the years, especially in the most recent years, I feel like they've kind of gotten this bad reputation because at the beginning especially, it's like, oh my gosh, these influencers have perfect lives, nobody can relate to them, they're making all this money and blah, blah, blah. But, and then there's also, you know, de-influencing trend that's going on. And then now some brands are kind of redistributing their marketing budget to other types of content creators like UGC Creators, which we will get into in a minute. But I just really wanted to lay all of that out there. If you've had any questions about like, okay, how does influencing work? Like, what is the goal? How long does it take? Again, it's across the board, but for anyone who is considering influencing, becoming an influencer, I just wanted to lay that out too, just so you know what it is exactly that you will be getting into if you do decide to choose the route of being an influencer. Now, should you become an influencer? Maybe. If that resonates with you, if like you sharing what you really love on social media every single day, you're not afraid to post consistently, you want to like grow this large following, you want brand deals, you want sponsored posts, then yes, maybe influencing is the perfect fit for you. And like, if you do decide to be an influencer, I will cheer you on every single step of the way and I would be so happy for you. But here is the problem that I often see like too much on social media. I see people who, you know, follow these influencers and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to be an influencer. I see how much money they're making. I want to do this. I can totally do this. And they're like, got their mindset on being an influencer. But what they fail to realize is that they will not be making money like straight away, right? It's like, if you need money as a content creator right now, like this month, influencing probably just isn't the best way because it takes a while to build that following for brands to like literally come to you and give you a lot of money. So they fail to realize that they won't be making money right away. This is where UGC comes in. In the first month of me doing UGC, like when I first started UGC, I made almost 4 figures. It wasn't a ton of money, of course, right? But I could pay my car payment, my monthly car payment, and my wife's car payment, plus maybe like a couple extra groceries. But like that alone, like I made money my very first month of doing UGC. Now, if that same month I had decided to not pursue UGC, but instead I took the influencer route, then I can almost guarantee you I would have spent just as much time posting on social media, trying to build up my following, going live more often to gain the followers, and at the end of the month, I probably would have made a goose egg, like $0 to help pay my bills. With the brand deals I got like that first month of doing UGC, I literally had less than 400 followers on TikTok. I think less than 200, maybe 250 followers over on Instagram. So everyone who tells you, or if you heard other UGC creators be like, you need followers to be a UGC creator and make money as a UGC creator, you just don't. You simply don't. Does it sometimes help like in the future? Yes, but every single brand deal that I got that first month, following months after that, up until right now, I've actually never had a brand be like, hey, like, you have a large following with this kind of niche, like this is why we want to work with you. Nobody has ever said that to me. So even though I have, more than like 30,000 followers on TikTok, it's still not the driving factor of the success I have with UGC. And this is why I'm making this video. This is what I'm telling anybody who is watching this right now. If you want to become a paid content creator, you actually want to make money the first couple weeks, the first month of content creation journey, UGC is the best way to go. I've not seen a better option. At least start with UGC. Like, if you want to pay your bills, you want to make money, you want to increase your income and elevate your life, like as a content creator, and you want to just get started right away and have the potential to make money your first month, just start with UGC. And the great thing about this is you can start with UGC, and then as you post your content consistently, you can also simultaneously become an influencer. If that resonates with you, 100% take that route. Start UGC, make content like every single day, post it on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, Lemon8. If you haven't joined Lemon8, you probably should. But post your content consistently and start building up your following so that later on down the road, maybe you do have two different types of income streams, right? You're like doing UGC brand deals, and then also on the side, you're doing sponsored posts. You're making two different kinds of income, all because you started with UGC. But again, I want to recap this because it's so important. It's something that a lot of people it just goes over their head. So when brands work with you as a UGC creator, they don't really care about the number of followers you have. And the reason for that is because they are not relying on your followers to drive purchases, right? To grow their business, to increase revenue, to, sell more products. They're not relying on your followers. They're relying on the content that you make for them and send to them, and then they post on their own social media accounts or maybe run as paid social media ads. I know several UGC creators, that have gone this route where they start with UGC and they land brand deals, they make money their first month. I know someone that made money their first 5 days of becoming a UGC creator. But you can take this route. Like, you can go into UGC, you can work like crazy to pitch to brands, perfect your pitch, email brands, reach out to brands, hop on calls with brands, and just go all in. And simultaneously, you'll start to build up your content creation skills. And you'll start to post, just like I know several people that do. Post your content consistently on social media, so you're simultaneously growing this following while also getting paid by brands to create content for them. So if that sounds like the route you want to go in and the direction you want to go in, just go for that. And I promise you, you'll learn so much as a UGC creator that will help you with influencing with whatever you want to do in the future as a content creator. But if you want to make money right now, like this month, with content creation, then 100% always start with UGC. All right, that is the breakdown of influencing versus UGC versus maybe doing both. So let me know in the comments below, what are you pursuing right now? Are you just pursuing UGC? Are you just pursuing being an influencer? Are you doing both at the same time? Let me know in the comments, and then also put your social media handle in the same comment so that we can all just support each other and maybe follow each other along on this amazing, super hard, but really rewarding journey of being a content creator. And remember, while you are going through this process of being a content creator, know that I'm cheering you on every single step of the way. Reach out to me on Instagram and keep me updated on your content creation journey. and I will see you on next week's video.